Hi, and welcome to your Everyday Joe channel. My name is Joe. Today we're going to try to create a apple pie, mostly from scratch, with the Power Air Fryer oven. Because I was looking at their manual here, and it says that it can make an apple pie. But when I see the apple pie, as you can see here, it really doesn't look like an apple pie. It looks more like an apple pocket. Basically it's made from 2 sheets of store-bought dough, some apple pie filling, an egg, and some sugar for garnish, it says. But I can't see that as being an apple pie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an apple pie. There was also a request by one of the viewers here that wanted to see if it could actually be done with some raw apples and a crust top. Well, we're going to give it a go here and see if it works out. And if it does, hopefully I'll have some apple pie with some whipped cream on it later. So stay tuned to the end. Thanks.
We're going to start with the pie crust. There's a 1 graham cracker pie crust, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 egg, medium size and room temperature, half a cup of granulated sugar, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar packed, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of butter, and 4 gala apples. Okay, first we're going to start with peeling the apples, just using a regular peeler. And we're just going to take the skin off. You can leave the skin on if you want. I'm choosing not to. Okay. And I'm also gonna take the bottom side off and the top side just to make it easier to cut. And cut it in half. And we're just going to make slices out of it. You can core it if you want. I find that just slicing it works just as good. Okay. Okay, and you see the core comes right out. And we'll peel the rest of these apples here. And you want to make sure you add your lemon juice into it. Just pour a little bit on top. That's going to help the apples from turning brown. So I'm gonna cut here. We're gonna come back to when the apples are all done. Okay, so now we have the apples all squared away. We added the lemon to it, so they don't turn brown. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to crack the egg. We're going to egg your pie crust, and we're going to bake it for a couple of minutes just to make sure it sets and gets nice and crispy at the bottom. We're going to try it in the air fryer oven for a couple of minutes. We're going to see how that turns out. And now I'm going to crack this egg, and we're going to beat it a little bit. So we beat it up a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna get the egg wash in there pretty good. Okay, get it all over there. And we're gonna put this in the air fry oven for a couple minutes just to brown it and toast it up again. And then we'll continue on the next segment. Okay, this is just finished up here. We're going to take a look at it, and we're going to see what it did to the pie crust here. You want to be careful of this area here. This area here is very hot, so if you have a glove or a towel, make sure you use that towel to get your crust out. Let's just take a look here. I just want to. Okay, yeah, dried it out a little bit, so made it more solid. So 5 minutes seems to have worked on that. I'm just going to leave that in there for the time being while we prep the remainder of our pie. Okay, we're going to take the butter, we're just going to microwave it. This is the salted butter, so I'm not adding any extra butter to the pie. We're going to add some butter to the mixture here, and then to the top pie crust that I'm using a store-bought puff pastry. So we're just going to take this butter and we're going to microwave it for maybe about 30 seconds just to liquefy it. Okay, while that's going, we're going to combine our ingredients here. We're going to take our sugar, our granulated sugar, our brown sugar, light brown sugar. Okay, we're going to make sure it's all broken up, there's no clumps. Add our cinnamon into that. So essentially, it's all the dry ingredients. Okay, we add our flour to it, and we're going to just mix it up here to make sure it's all blended nicely. Okay, our apples have been sitting there with the lemon. If you notice, the apples have not turned brown, so the lemon does work. Okay, make sure we get it all nice and mixed up here. Okay, then we're going to add this to our apples here. Let's just get this stuff out of the way. Okay, we're going to mix all these apples together. I'm probably just going to use my hands here and be able to at least get everything coated. Make sure it's all coated nicely. Okay. And it's all right if you have some of the mixture at the bottom here. It's okay because that's going to end up at the top. Okay, so we have our melted butter here. We're just going to pour a little bit over the top here just to make sure that everything is blended. We're going to save the rest of it for the top of the pie, the pie crust. So let's go and grab the pie crust. Okay, we grab the pie crust. Okay, let's get it on here. We're going to get the cutting board out so I don't melt the cutting board. Okay, we have our pie crust. It's a bit warm. So we take our mixture and we're going to add it right to the pie crust. You want to spread it out a little bit. Now keep in mind these are raw apples, so they're going to probably take a little longer to cook and soften. So we're going to pour this mixture right over the top. Get it all out of here. It's all good stuff. So we'll get rid of the plate. And let's just try to be gentle here so we don't wreck the whole pie. We're going to open up our pie crust here. And what you might find is that the pie crust is frozen, probably has to be thawed out a little bit. You can leave it out for about 20 minutes or put it in the microwave for about a minute or so. So that's what I'm going to do, is this is still frozen. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the the puff pastry dough out. I just sprinkled a little bit of flour on the cutting board, just so it doesn't stick while I cut it. Just to be able to rub it a little bit here. All right, all I'm going to do is cut strips, and we're going to try to do the lattice effect on this. So we're going to go about 1-inch strips. And we just cut that in half. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strips. So we're going to start putting it on the pie. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold these in here, just tuck them in here, fold it in there, just kind of just roll it a little bit. Okay, just kind of pat that down just a little. Okay, let's get that board out of the way. Okay. Add some of the egg. Just going to brush that up. It's going to puff out anyway. It is a puff pastry, so we're just going to brush a little bit of the egg. Then we're going to pour a little bit of this butter into the holes here, just to give it a little bit of moisture. And again, we didn't add any salt to this because I used salted butter instead. Kind of skipped a step there, so we can save it on the end. Okay. Okay, that's good there. Now the last step is we're going to grab a little bit of granulated sugar. Some granulated sugar. We're going to add some more of this cinnamon. And basically just to sprinkle the top. That's all we're going to really use it for. Okay, I'll just mix it up here. This will give it a nice sweet topping, sweet crust. Okay, just sprinkle it on. Okay, that should be good enough. And what I'm going to do for the purpose of the power air fryer oven is we're going to use a little tin foil to cover the pie, just so we don't overcook the top. So I'm just lightly covering it here, just so we can cook it, and while it sits in that oven, it's not going to over dry it and burn the top of it. So we're going to put it in the oven now, and we'll start it up. Okay, we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to put this in the rack here. And again, I covered it up just so it won't dry out. We're going to close this up, power it on. We're going to go 375, or actually, we're going to hit the bake 30 minutes. We're going to do the cake bake. And we're going to check it in about 30 minutes or 20 minutes to see how it works. We're actually going to test it we're going to open it up in about 15 minutes and check it. And then we'll take the top off and let it brown. Let's turn on the light. So it's on. It's at 370, and that we use the cake bake, and it's 15 minutes. Okay, let's take this out. I'm using the Grill Armor glove from Amazon. I bought that off Amazon. I think it was about $20 or so. All right, let's take a look at this apple pie. There it comes out. Oh, here we go. Wow, that looks really nice. Look good. Okay, let's put it on the counter. Okay, got the knife here. Let's see if it's pretty good here. Oh, that's pretty tender. Pretty tender, pretty nice. Yeah, you can hear the crisp. So that actually looks really nice, really nice. Okay, we're gonna let this cool a little bit, and we're gonna take a look at it on the inside, see how it cooked. So we'll come back in a little while when it's cooled. Okay, this is the pie. We're gonna give it a taste test. Looks pretty good. I probably could have cooked for a little bit longer just to dry it out a little bit, but overall it looks pretty good. I've got some whipped cream on mine. Let's give it a taste test here. Not bad, not bad. Pretty sweet. If you like the sweet apple pie, this one's for you. This one goes out to PJ. PJ, I guess it does work. The only thing I noticed is that you have to cook it on the bake for 20 minutes, or the 30-minute set time that it sets for. I covered the top with a tin foil just to protect it so it won't burn. After that 30 minutes, I lowered it to 300 degrees and went another 20 minutes. And it came out pretty good. So I guess it can bake a pie. It's just you got to tweak the temperature and time a little bit. But overall, it's pretty good. I'll see you in the next video.